Thanks for coming. Welcome back to those of you who are back, and we will reconvene our open session, and we need to establish a quorum.
Dr. Solocito,
Here.
Dr. Grant,
Here.
Boland,
Here.
Ms. Pulowski is absent. Ms. Prado,
Here.
Dr. Bradbury,
Here.
we have a quorum.
Great. And again, thank you, members, for agreeing to meet in this additional day so we could hear these matters. Judge Larson, I will turn it over to you. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, and we have our petition Dr. Singh has submitted. So we are here on April 19th, 2024 in the matter of the petition for reinstatement by Amdeep Singh. This matter is being heard before the Board of Veterinary Medicine, Department of Consumer Affairs, State of California. Case number is 4602-024-001100. OAH case number 2024-030-279. The board members have already identified themselves for the record, and we do have a quorum. My name is Marcy Larson. I'm an administrative law judge with the Office of Administrative Hearings. I'm presiding over the matter this morning. We are here at the date, time, and location of the notice of hearing. And counsel for the people, if you would please state your appearance for the record.
Deputy Attorney General Summer Haro.
And counsel for petitioner.
Yes, Bonnie Lutz on behalf of Dr. Singh.
And Dr. Singh is seated next to you. Good morning. All right, so I'm going to briefly go over how the hearing is going to proceed this morning. We are here today because Dr. Singh, you have filed a petition for the reinstatement of your license. The board is primarily concerned about hearing from you with regards to what rehabilitation you've undertaken since the discipline of your license. I also know that you had filed a petition for reinstatement, I believe, back in 2022. And so anything you have done to address the board's concerns that are set forth in that decision as well, the board would want to hear. You have the burden of proving that your license should be reinstated. Deputy Attorney General Haro will proceed first. She will give the board a brief overview of the history of discipline of your license. She will then present the exhibits in this matter. There are 9 exhibits. You have those exhibits. Counsel, you should have those in front of you. For each of the exhibits, I will ask Ms. Lutz if you've reviewed the exhibit and if you have any objection. If you have an objection, just please tell me and I'll rule on that objection. After Ms. Haro is done presenting the exhibits, it will then be Dr. Singh's opportunity to present his case. I know that there's no additional documents, but of course, Dr. Singh will be able to testify on his own behalf. And I believe Dr. Singh has some witnesses he will be calling as well. Correct, Ms. Lutz?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
So I want to remind you that the board members have the benefit of the petition package and the documentations submitted in support of that. So if you would please focus your questioning of Dr. Singh and the witnesses on rehabilitation since his license was disciplined. After all of the evidence has been presented, I will allow Ms. Haro and Ms. Lutz to give closing remarks if you wish. And then the matter will be submitted to the board. The board will go into closed session today and deliberate. And then, of course, you will receive a written decision sometime in the future. All right. Any questions for me?
No questions, Your Honor.
Any questions?
No questions.
All right. Then, Ms. Haro, if you would begin by giving the board members a brief overview of the history of discipline.
Thank you. I'm appearing today on behalf of the Attorney General pursuant to Government Code Section 11522, representing the people of the state of California. I am here to assist in fact-finding, and my role is not adversarial, but is to protect the public interest. I'm here to ensure that there is adequate information from which to make a decision. I would like to first mark for identification and offer into evidence jointly as Exhibit 1, the petition packet with accompanying documents, which is tabbed within that exhibit. The board members and petitioner have been provided with a copy of the same set of exhibits, excuse me. Exhibit 1 generally consists of tab 1, which contains the notice of hearing, tab 2, which is petitioner's license certification history. Tab 3 is the board's order denying the petition for reconsideration and decision, as well as the order in the matter of the petition for reinstatement by respondent Amandeep Singh. And that was in board case number AV 2015-26. We also have in that the board's order denying petition for reconsideration and decision and order in the matter of the second amended accusation against Amandeep Singh, board case number AV 2015-26. A citation and order of abatement number 4602022 000254 that was issued to petitioner on April 11th, 2022. Tab 4 contains the petition for reinstatement of registration. Tab 5 contains petitioner's statement. Tab 6 contains petitioner's continuing education certificates and transcripts. Tab 7 contains letters of recommendation, approximately 7 letters. Tab 8 contains the compliance report, and Tab 9 contains the request for live scan service. At this time, I offer this packet into evidence as Exhibit 1.
So they're actually marked 1 through 9. So we're going to admit them like that.
Okay.
So Ms. Lutz, any objections to exhibits 1 through 9?
No, I do not have any objections, Your Honor.
Exhibits 1 through 9 are admitted.
Thank you. I will now provide a brief summary of petitioner's license history with the board. On June 12th, 2006, the board issued veterinarian license number 16252 to petitioner. On August 23rd, 2017, the board filed second amended accusation number AV 2015-26 against petitioner. The accusation alleged 15 causes of disciplinary action against petitioner for his work as veterinarian from 2012 to 2014. The causes for disciplinary action included 4 counts of negligence, which were for failing to examine puppies following complications after surgery, failing to feed and or monitor a cat during an overnight stay after surgery, failing to supervise or monitor a dog that respondent knew was in respiratory distress and had known chest trauma, and failing to recognize potential pulmonary bleeding on the radiographs for that dog, and failing to ligate the uterine stump during a spay operation of a dog. A cause for disciplinary action also included 6 counts of failing to comply with regulations governing record keeping, 2 counts of fraud and deception for altering medical records, and 2 counts of unprofessional conduct for fraudulently altering a patient's medical records. On March 9th, 2018, the board issued its decision adopting the proposed decision revoking petitioner's license. The board denied petitioner's petition for reconsideration, and the board's decision revoking petitioner's license took effect April 8th, 2018. Petitioner was ordered to pay a fine of $5,000 and $51,280 in costs. On April 11th, 2022, the board issued citation and order of abatement number 4602022 000254 to petitioner for engaging in the unlicensed practice of veterinary medicine and fined petitioner $5,000. On June 27th, 2022, the board denied petition for reinstatement of license. The board denied petitioner's petition, and the board's decision denying that petition took effect on July 27th, 2022. Petitioner is now petitioning for reinstatement of his license. Because the burden is on petitioner, I have no further statements, but reserve the right to question petitioner later.
All right, thank you. Ms. Lutz, any opening remarks?
Yes, Your Honor. I would just like to say that, first of all, I thank you, board members, for being here today. I know you've just had a very long and tiring meeting, and I appreciate your attendance today. As far as Dr. Singh, he's a young veterinarian who has many years to give to his patients in need in his area. if given his license back. And he the evidence will show that he has done almost everything he could do in the last couple of years to improve his veterinary abilities and to learn proper record keeping. We believe that we can show that he's a capable veterinarian, and we will also show through witnesses that he's a very well-respected veterinarian. So we're hoping that you will look at the evidence today and allow Dr. Singh to practice veterinary medicine again. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Lutz, your first witness.
Yes, Dr. Singh.
All right, Dr. Singh, the first thing I need to do is swear you in. If you would please rise. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
okay, thank you. All right, have a seat. And if you would please state and spell your name.
My name is Amandeep Singh, AMANDEEP SINGH.
All right, Mr. Singh, just a few ground rules to make things go smooth this morning. Ms. Lutz will question you. And so it's important that you just give a brief pause before you answer the question. That will ensure that you're not talking over each other. It's hard to hear when you're talking over each other. So just give that pause. It also gives Ms. Haro an opportunity to make an objection to a question if she wishes to do so. So if you hear her say the word objection, do not answer the question unless I instruct you to do so. After Ms. Lutz is done questioning you, Ms. Haro will have an opportunity to question you, and the same rules apply. I will then ask our board members if they have any questions for you. I will then give your attorney another opportunity to ask any follow-up questions. And I go through that process until everybody's asked all of the questions they want to ask of you. All right?
Okay.
Okay. All right. Ms. Lutz, your witness.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Dr. Singh, I'd like to call your attention to, and I put this notebook in front of you, to pages 1-075 through 1-077.
And counsel, if you could tell us what exhibit number you're looking at, please.
I just realized that, Your Honor, I'm sorry. It's Exhibit 4 or Tab 4, as counsel referred to it.
All right. And the numbers again, please.
The numbers are 1-075 through 1-077.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome, Your Honor. Okay, I'd just like to have you look at page 1077 and confirm that that's your signature.
Yes, that is my signature.
And do you understand that you signed this petition under penalty of perjury?
Yes,
Can you tell us what that means?
that everything is true in this petition.
Thank you. And why did you file this petition in July of 2023?
When my petition of reinstatement was denied in 22, I was told that I can reapply after 1 year has passed. And that's why I applied in 2023, July, almost when 1 year had passed.
Thank you. And Your Honor, do you want me to always say that it's tab 4 or exhibit 4, or can we just assume that it's 4 until I change to another one?
We can assume it's
Okay.
4 until you change to another one, but once you change exhibit numbers, just
Okay.
please tell us.
Okay, thank you. And I won't be switching back and forth very much, so. Okay, so Dr. Singh, can I have you look at page 076?
Yes, I have it.
Okay. Now, is this a list of the continuing education courses that you attended since your last petition for reinstatement was filed?
That is correct.
And have you attended any additional continuing education courses since you filed this petition in July of 2023?
Yes, I have.
Thank you. Now I'm going to switch to Exhibit 6. And if I could have you look at pages 091 and 092, please.
Yes, I have 091 and 092.
Did you attend the PACVET conference in 2022?
That is correct.
Did you attend in person or online?
That was in person.
And I'm going to confirm that this particular course occurred prior to your having received the final decision on your petition, correct?
That is correct.
And so why did you attend this particular continuing education program?
I was trying to just stay connected in case I get my license back um, on different aspect of veterinary medicine. So I continued on that pursuit, not knowing the outcome of my petition.
Thank you. Did these courses assist you with your rehabilitation after losing your license?
These courses help in different ways of just staying connected, as I mentioned on veterinary medicine subjects. And I was hoping at that time that if my license is given back, then I'm ready to practice again.
Okay, thank you. So if I could have you look at, again, we're still in Exhibit 6 for the record, page 090.
Yes, I have 090.
Okay. And does that reflect a course that you took called Veterinary Medical Records Boot Camp?
That is correct.
Did you actually attend 10 hours of medical record keeping for this course?
That is correct.
Was this online or in person?
That was online.
And why did you attend this specific course?
Um, From my previous petition, which was declined, I was deficient in my knowledge of record keeping, and I wanted to learn more and what I was lacking to understand more the different aspects of record keeping. And this course definitely helped in that field.
Thank you. Again, in Exhibit 6, can I have you look at page 084? And again, for the record, all of these numbers that I'm giving, they are prefaced by 1 dash, so it would be 1-084, but for the ease of discussion, I'm just using the last 3 digits. So 084.
Yes, I have 084.
Did you attend this conference?
Yes, I attended this conference.
And did you attend all 44 hours of the conference?
Yes.
Were any of the courses on medical records or ethical issues?
Any of the conference? Please repeat the question.
Okay, were any of these subjects, did any of the subjects covered include ethical issues or medical records for this Western Veterinary Conference 95th conference?
I recall because I have attended in last couple of years quite a few conferences, courses. So I believe there was one part which did touch on medical, ethical subject.
Okay, we're still in Exhibit 6, page 085, please.
Yes, I have it.
Did you attend the PACVET conference in 2023?
Yes, I did.
And did you attend all of the sessions indicated on that certificate?
Yes, I did.
How did the attendance at these sessions assist with your rehabilitation?
As with all the conferences, there are different subjects which you keep getting refreshed on. Um, It could be medicine, surgery, preventive medicine, dentistry. So these conferences helps me in staying connected with my profession.
Okay, it's still in Exhibit 6. Can I have you look at page 093 through 098?
Yes, I have 093 through 098.
And did you attend those courses online?
That is correct.
Did any of the courses cover medical records?
Uh, it did cover medical record in this course.
Okay, can you point to the specific page where the certificate is for the medical records, please?
It's 1-093. That is the medical record part of this course.
Thank you. Was your taking that medical records course, was that helpful in your rehabilitation as far as your increased knowledge of how to keep proper medical records?
Yes.
And can you give me some examples?
Yes, this course talked about what goes in the medical record, what should be done to make sure what is considered a complete and accurate medical record. And it also talked in length about what should not be, as a veterinarian, what should not be, I don't know what the right word is, that omissions or corrections or change or any medical record part. It did talk about in detail on those subjects as well.
Okay, so just to clarify, are you referring to the fact that you shouldn't go back and alter a record? Is that what you're referring to?
That is correct.
So based on your taking these additional continuing education courses, are you now aware of the fact that you can't go back and change a medical record once you've written it?
That is correct.
Do you agree with the statement from the person, Sarah Babcock, who made the statement to me personally, that there were a lot of ethical issues involved in all of these courses?
That is correct.
And specifically, if you look at Exhibit 6, page 094,
Yes.
certificate, did that particular course touch on ethical issues?
This VCPR course, it touched ethical part as well as the informed consent, which is, I'm sorry, which is the next certificate. But this one, yes, it did talk in length about VCPR and the ethical part of it.
Okay. And if you look at page 095, I believe the title of that was Telemedicine and Ethics. Do you recall ethical issues being discussed during that course?
Yes, it did.
Do you recall specifically any of the ethical issues involved?
With the advancement in last few years, this has been a big subject of telemedicine and how does it affect the patient client veterinarian relationship, and what can be done to have this side of our medicine, veterinary medicine, and how it can be made more to be put in place on different side of our veterinary medicine.
Okay, in the same exhibit, can I have you look, please, at page 096? And I
Yes.
believe the title of that certificate is Regulation of the Profession, is that correct?
Yes, that is 096.
Did that include ethical issues, you recall?
Yes, it did.
Do you recall what ethical issues that included?
Um, I think because again, my apologies because I have taken different courses. So um, I do not recall specifically that what it said about ethical part in this. But if I recall that it mentioned that different states regulate the veterinarians on their own guidelines or on their own regulations, um, and what how they are disciplined in different state. So, but I do not recall specifically because there were so many courses that what exactly was the ethical part in this.
Okay, thank you. Okay, if I can have you look again, we're in Exhibit 6 at pages 086 through 089.
I'm sorry, exhibit.
Yeah, the same exhibit, just 086 through 089.
Yes, I have those.
And this appears to be multiple courses that you took from Vetcetera, is that correct?
That is correct.
And is it correct that you took 52 hours of courses from Vetcetera?
That is correct.
Were all those courses online?
That is correct.
How did these courses help with your rehabilitation?
Uh, As I mentioned previously, that veterinary medicine is a vast subject, and it is the best way to stay connected by keep refreshing, especially when you are not practicing veterinary medicine. So you find different tools to make sure that you are still there, even if you're not practicing, but you keep updating your knowledge through these courses.
If I can have you look back at page 076, and for the record, this is back to Exhibit 4.
Yes, I have that.
Okay, as far as journals, during the time that you have been rehabilitating and taking continuing education courses, have you continued to read veterinary journals?
That is correct.
And can you tell me what journals you've continued to read?
I am a CVMA member till date, so I have a online as well as the paper magazine, which comes to my house, which is California Veterinarian, and then a clinician brief and today's veterinary practice. Also, I get online. And wherever I shadow different veterinarians, these are the magazine which are in every single lobby pretty much. So these magazine, wherever I get chance, I do try to read.
What, have you been employed since June of 2022?
No, I'm not.
Do you still own any veterinary hospitals?
No, I don't.
I just want to confirm, have you worked in any veterinary hospital as far as worked, performed any veterinary duties since June of 2022?
No, I have not.
Okay, we're still in Exhibit 4. Can I have you look still at page 076 under where it says rehabilitation?
Yes, I have that.
Okay. You've listed there that you've shadowed some veterinarians, and I want to ask you some specific questions. So let's start with Dr. Avtar Singh. What did you actually do when you, quote, shadowed Dr. Singh?
I will follow him in exam room. I will watch him sometime do the procedures. I will learn and watch his way of doing the electronic record keeping, how they handle the control drugs. So whatever my stay is and whatever on that day is happening, so I will observe, watch, and sometime ask questions. So that is what I will do whenever I am there.
And how did that help with your rehabilitation?
When I had my license, and I always had only paper records till that date. I have never used electronic records, and I have seen almost 99% of the veterinary hospitals are electronic records these days, and paper records is a history. So that was always been a big thing for me to keep learning. There are different softwares, different veterinarians use, but I wanted to just see that how it is different, how it is helping. So record keeping part, especially electronic record keeping part, learning it has helped me a lot when I will be shadowing doctors.
Thank you. And we're still talking about Dr. Singh at Elkhorn, is it Elkhorn Willerga Animal Hospital? Is that where you shadowed him?
Yes, Elkhorn Willerga Animal Hospital.
I just want to confirm, so when you were there shadowing, did you perform any veterinary duties?
No, I did not.
Did you perform any duties that would be considered RVT duties?
No, I did not.
Thank you. So the next person listed is Dr. Ranjan, and I do understand that he's going to be a witness later. So I'm just going to ask you a couple of questions. Did you shadow Dr. Ranjan?
Yes, I did.
And what did you do when you shadowed him?
Dr. Ranjan's hospital is a 24-hour hospital, and they see a lot of different kind of cases, ranging from critical seizuring, hit by car, bit by dog, and so it is very busy practice, which again helped me because when I used to practice, I correlate that the cases which I used to get at GuyCert are very much same pace and similar cases which any 24-hour practice will get. So I will see how they will handle step by step any critical patient, and again at his place they also have a different electronic record which is eVet. So I will learn how to. So he will, whenever he'll get chance out of his busy schedule, he'll give me just a test patient and will ask me that whatever the exam we saw in the exam room, so I want you to have this test patient entered in the medical record, and then he will check and tell me that these are the different tools which can help me put all together in the records.
So basically, was it a practice medical record that you got to do?
That is correct.
And I just want to confirm that while you were shadowing Dr. Ranjan at Inner City Animal Emergency Clinic, did you perform any veterinarian duties?
No, I did not.
Did you perform any duties that would be done by an RVT?
No, I did not.
Okay, the next person listed is Mandeep Singh Sidhu at Family Friends Veterinary Hospital. Did you shadow him as well?
Yes.
And can you describe what you did at that facility?
It is everything I mentioned at Dr. Avatar, Dr. Amit Ranjan, So exactly same thing that I will observe. I will call him a day or 2 days before that I will be coming because his practice is in Sacramento and I stay in Stockton. And sometime I will not bother or not disturb his schedule. So I will try to go almost when he is done with his duties. And then I will sometime, if on that day or even in the last few days, if there is any radiology which I can discuss with him, could it be chest, abdominal, um, again, record keeping, any new medicine which has come, could it be pain medication, could it be any different antibiotic? So as I said, different aspects of veterinary medicine, I will try to see that if I can know what they are doing at their practices.
And again, I just want to confirm, when you were at Family Friends Veterinary Hospital shadowing Dr. Sidhu, did you perform any veterinary duties?
No, I did not.
Did you perform any duties that would be considered RVT duties?
No, I did not.
Okay, can you generally then just give me a summary and explain how this shadowing assisted with your rehabilitation, meaning shadowing of all three facilities?
As I did a lot of courses, conferences, but sometime you need to be there to actually see sometime the practicality of those courses. And sometime as a veterinarian, you want to be there, which I have not been because of my license being revoked. So that connect and just staying at the hospital, it still gives you hope, feel that you still belong. And all those things which I can learn from courses, and any of them, if they are doing it right, they're right then that given day. So then I can correlate that, yes, that's what I learned, and that's what the practicality of that, what is being done today at their practice.
Thank you. As far as community service, can you tell me what you do at the local temple?
Every weekend, every Saturday evening, there is a meditation session which happens. And I have been a regular in that every Saturday. Sometime it is Saturday, sometimes they do it on Sunday as well. And that helps, especially when you have been going through a lot. So you need to stay mental well-being, I'll say. That camp, or it helps.
Okay, we're in Exhibit 4. Can I have you look at page 077, please? And under current compliance, are all of these responses still correct as of today? In the current compliance section, are all the responses correct?
Yes, they are. I was going through because yes, everything is still correct.
Okay, thank you. And do you understand where it says cost recovery? It appears from the record that what you actually owe is $51,280. Are you prepared to pay that?
Yes, I am.
Thank you. Please look at, and now we're going to Exhibit 5, which is pages 080 through 081.
I think is. Yes, I have it.
Okay, did you prepare that statement?
Yes, I did.
And is everything in that statement true and correct?
That is correct.
And you state in there that you've made an effort to take more CE courses on record keeping. You already testified, but would you say that that's a true statement?
That is true.
Okay, I'm now going to switch to Exhibit 7, page 101 for your purposes, Dr. Singh.
Yes, I have it.
And that appears to be a letter of reference or recommendation from Dr. Avtar Singh. Is that correct?
That is correct.
How long have you known Dr. Singh?
We come from the same college back in India, so we have known each other over close to 30 years now.
Have you talked to him about what you've gone through since you had your license revoked and your petition denied?
Yes,
Did Dr. Singh write this letter himself?
that is correct.
Did you tell him what to say in the letter?
No, basically, I will just tell him that what is expected in a letter, which is like guidelines, basically from the board. So that's all I will tell him, that what you need to write in those on those lines based on the guidelines of the board.
Okay, but I just want to confirm, did you actually give him a sample of what he should write, or did he put together the sentences himself?
No, he put together all those.
Okay, thank you. And if you look at page 102, please.
Yes, sir.
That is the letter from Dr. Ranjan. And how long have you known him?
I have known Dr. Ranjan since 2016 or 17. So about 7 to 8 years now.
And have you talked to him about what you've gone through with having your license revoked and your petition denied?
Yes, I have.
Did he write this letter himself?
He did.
Did you tell him what to write in the letter?
No.
Thank you. Okay, page 103, please.
Yes, I have it.
And that is still Exhibit 7, and it's a letter written by Dr. Mandeep Singh Sidhu. How long have you known Dr. Sidhu?
Again, Dr. Sidhu and we are from same college from back in India. So I have known him close to 30 years as well.
Have you talked to him about what you've gone through since your license was revoked and your petition denied?
Yes, I have.
And did Dr. Sidhu write this letter himself?
Yes, he did.
Did you tell him what to write in the letter?
No, I did not.
Thank you. The next one is it's still Exhibit 7, page 104. And I'm going to have a very hard time pronouncing this name, so could you pronounce it for the record, please?
Yes, this is Dr. Prathiban Thawanitha Raja. He is practicing in Folsom currently.
How long have you known him?
I have known Dr. Prathiban since 2015 or 16, when he came from Canada looking for a job in US.
And did he write that letter himself?
He did.
Did you tell him what to say in the letter?
No.
Okay, page 105, we're still in Exhibit 7. This is the letter from Dr. Karamjeet Singh. and Dr. Singh will be a remote witness later on in this hearing. How long have you known him?
Almost 30 years as well. We go back from the same college.
And have you talked to him about having your license revoked and your petition denied?
Yes, I have.
Did he write this letter himself?
He did.
Did you tell him what to write?
No.
How did you help underserved farmers? There's a reference in that letter about your assisting underserved farmers when you were in vet school. Can you just describe that a little bit?
When we were in the college days back in India, at that time, it was only one veterinary university / college in the entire state of Punjab. And most of the farmers will come to that place to have, and we are talking mostly cows, buffaloes. We are not talking dogs and cats. And we are talking their livelihood because one farmer might have one buffalo, one cow. They will travel far sometime to come to the veterinary university to get their animals treated. And sometime, as they're poor farmers, they don't have a place to stay because sometime they will be there for 2-3 days while their animal is being treated. So we will arrange for their shelters in a way that I was a local resident. My house was in the same town as the college was. And few of us lived around the vicinity of the veterinary college. So we will offer them the place to live, food to eat while they're there, while the animal is treated. So that was some of the different ways I can help them. Cost of medicine, which was discounted anyways because it is a hospital / educational institute. So and sometimes the farmers can't even afford the discounted medicine as well. So then we will try to arrange the funds to help them.
Thank you. Okay, can I have you, we're still in Exhibit 7, look at page 106, please.
Yes, I have it.
And this is a letter from Dr. Gill. Gill is also going to be a witness later on in this hearing. How long have you known Dr. Gill?
Dr. Gill also is from the same college. So again, same about 30 years.
And have you talked to him about your license being revoked and your petition denied?
Yes, we have been in constant touch.
Did Dr. Gill write this letter himself?
Yes, he did.
Did you tell him what to say?
No.
What does Dr. Gill mean when he says that you volunteered at veterinary hospitals?
As I mentioned that most of the friends we stay in touch, all the tough times I've been through since 2018 till date. So we talk over the phone, in person. So, and he's aware that I have been going to hospitals to observe, to see how they are doing veterinary medicine. So that's what he meant, that I volunteered at these hospitals.
Okay, and just to confirm, when you do this, what you're calling volunteering or shadowing, are you performing any veterinary or RVT duties?
No.
And the final letter, it still Exhibit 7, page 107. It's a letter from Dr. Nayar.
Dr. Aarti Nayar.
And did she write this letter herself?
She did.
Did you tell her what to say?
No.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I just have a couple of questions. As far as things that you've learned through all this continuing education, if you had a similar situation as to what you had in 2017 with the puppies and the dew claw removal, would you handle that differently now based on your continuing education?
Yes. All these courses, all these different veterinarians, and again, that was one of the reasons to see how I could have done the things differently uh, if I see them. And the cases when I shadow, so I will see pretty much similar cases because those are very common cases which we see as a veterinarian. So I understand that the things they do is the right way, and I should have done the right thing then.
Well, can you tell us what you do differently now? Just basically.
Especially when you are dealing with any surgery, anything which is which can be which needs a very prompt possible recheck within either the next day, so that a recheck has to be done and done by me if I am there and I'm the one who performed the procedure. Then any of the bad outcome definitely could be avoided. So it is on that situation, especially the recheck to be done might made a big difference in the success versus the failure of the entire procedure.
Based on the continuing education you've taken, do you understand that you cannot recreate a medical record that's already been written?
Yes.
Is there anything else that you would like to say?
No.
Okay, thank you. I think I'm done, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Haro, any questions for Dr. Singh?
Yes, thank you. Dr. Singh, of the continuing education courses that you've taken, which one did you find most meaningful to you?
As the reasons for my revocation of my license, so I know all those cases still on top of my head. So anytime, whichever any subject connects to any of those things which led to me where I am today, that will definitely make me more going into that subject. And those subjects were vast, ranging from not being negligent, never miss an opportunity to handle your surgeries, to have the rechecks done by you, record keeping, right way of record keeping, what is the ethical part when you are dealing with the client. One of the things which really I liked about out of all these courses was when I learned the informed consent. That had a big ethical part, that you are talking with the client in depth. It is not a matter of just having them sign on a piece of paper that this is a consent form. So that was interesting and subject which I was not aware of until I went through those courses.
In 2022, you were issued a citation and order of abatement for unlicensed practice. because you had continued practicing as a veterinarian after your license was revoked. Can you explain to us why you had continued practicing after the revocation of your license?
Uh, You said why?
Correct.
I should not have done. I don't know how I can explain why, but I know that there is no reason I should have done. And again, that's why I'm sitting here today. That is a big no, which any veterinarian should understand, seeing what I have been going through, that that is completely unacceptable in any profession, or especially in our profession. And I should have never done that.
If your license were reinstated and you were put on probation, requiring you to comply with terms such as reporting to the board or having a supervised practice or a restricted practice, what assurances can you give the board that you would comply with those terms, given that when your license had been revoked, you did continue practicing?
I'm not sure what will be expected if my license is given back. And I believe my understanding is that I will have a clear instruction, clear picture that what will be expected if it is a supervised practice. So I will comply fully whatever will be expected from me.
Now, do you have any criminal convictions that the board's not aware of?
No,
Are you aware of any current criminal or civil charges that are pending against you in California or anywhere else?
no.
Why is it that you want to have your license reinstated?
Um, to get my livelihood back, that is the only thing going back last 30 years. That is the only skill I have, and I don't have that.
Thank you. I don't have any further questions.
All right, thank you. We'll start, any questions from the board members, starting with our president, Dr. Bradbury, next to me on my left.
Hi, Dr. Singh.
Hello.
Welcome back. And thank you for your testimony today. With your last petition and today and the documents you've submitted, it's clear to me that you're a very compassionate person and wanting to help others. And it seemed at the last hearing that some of the reasons you practiced were related to trying to help people. At least that was kind of what I understood. And I guess, how can we be sure that your heart won't overshadow your mind when you're faced with similar situations moving forward?
I think if my license is given back to me, so I will not be in that situation automatically, because then I am able to practice it. And that's why in last couple of years, I have not done any practice which will still keep me from my livelihood. So if my license is given back, I will be able to practice. So that situation will not come.
But if there was some situation that was still, you were practicing, but there are times, like I know I've been faced with things where I could potentially help somebody, but it wouldn't be in under the auspices of being legal. And so I'd have to choose not to do that because it was outside of the bounds of what I could do legally, which is hard. How would you handle that situation?
I think that is possibly the reason that I stayed away from being a part of any hospital except the shadowing of the multiple doctors and hospital I have been doing. So I will continue doing just that part and staying away from being a part where you make mistake. I made mistake because I was there. So that situation, I will make sure that I won't put myself in that situation, making the circumstances around it.
Thank you. And then would you have, it seems like a very strong community and people mentoring you. Will that still be available to you if you were to have your license reinstated?
That is true. I will continue to a point where I feel fully comfortable. It could be choosing which software I will be fully mastering myself into. So I will learn that electronic software completely. So yes, I still will be doing learning based on where the situation takes me.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Right now, to the board members to my right, any questions?
Hi, Dr. Singh.
Hello.
I just have a question. In your testimony, in your training with regards to record keeping, it seems to me that like the takeaway that you had was not to change medical records. Now, I wanted to know if put in a situation where you noticed an entry is erroneous, like so it's a mistake, then how would you, make sure that the information that is placed in the medical record is the correct one?
I learned that the boot camp from Dr. Abigail Kitchen, it did talk in depth about it as well. That and Dr. Sarah Babcock as well in her medical record course, that human memory is very short. So if within possibly few hours or same day, you notice that something is either not entered correctly, you just never erase anything. You just put a line on it, initial, and the corrected part underneath it. And then you also write in a small statement that why you did the change. So that is the right way to do any change if you need to do any change and if you noticed and on that same day.
Thank you. Next question I have, Dr. Nair mentioned about you being involved in mentoring new graduates, and I identify with that, being a foreign graduate myself. So I guess I wanted to know, in your mentorship, what are the key teachings that you could impart to new graduates who's seeking to be licensed or are newly licensed in the United States?
She is taking back 2006 through 12 or 14, 15. If I remember correctly, about 30 to 40 veterinarian did come to me in Stockton, either before they are going for NAVLE or CPE. I will guide them because I have gone through similar steps. So that's what she's mentioning when she's mentioning about mentorship to those foreign graduates. It could be also having them stay at my house in Stockton while they are observing me, following me at my hospital. So that's what I did.
I guess my question is, knowing what you know now, what are the key things that you would be imparting to them?
I will definitely talk to them what I went through. That will be a different education for them, that they're entering a profession where um, things are expected to be done in a right and proper way. So they'll hear my story, and that will be, they might not be tested on it in NEVLE or CPE, but I will definitely talk about it to any person who I will encounter.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't have any questions. I just appreciate you being here in person and both of you and your attorney. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Singh, I'm Barry Grant. Thanks for being here. Could you help me understand when your education in India, when you have the medical courses, which language are those courses given in?
They're in English, all in English.
And your textbooks are in English as well?
That is true.
So could you just go ahead and tell me again, I missed a little bit of what journals you read either online or that come to you on a weekly or monthly basis?
Oh, you mean currently?
Yes.
Yeah, the CVMA magazine, California Veterinarian Clinician Brief, which is, again, I have online of that, and today's veterinary practice. Then I also get the articles from the WIN, which is weekly or sometime. Yeah, I think it's weekly, because I have a separate folder in my email in which I will have all that information as it come, and whenever I get chance, I'll go through them.
So do you read the American Veterinary Medical Association Journal?
Um, No, I don't have the subscription. So the subscription part I have only for those. But if I am at any practice, just like Dr. Singh in Sacramento, Elkhorn, Valerga, or family friend here, so the most of the hospital have subscription for a lot of magazines. So when I'm there, yes, sometime I go through them.
And could you clarify to me, when you take a lot of CE courses and you complete it and you have a lot of certificates there, are those certificates based on results of an examination at the end of the taking of the course, or just your attendance there?
No, all the courses requires me whatever has been discussed in that course. Then I go through a test after the end of the course, and I think different courses have a different pass percentage. So if I don't pass, then I have to go back. So every certificate requires me to pass it, and then only it's not just the attendance. It is actually the clearing the exam.
Thank you. I have one more question. Could you describe a little bit more about the shadowing? You've been, I think there was 3 practices at least that you shadowed the veterinarian. What exactly does shadowing mean? Are you there 2 or 3 days a week? Or are you following cases from one day to the next?
It depends on where I am shadowing. So example, if when I shadowed at the intercity 24-hour practice, as I mentioned, the pace of the current or existing cases on that day is so fast that it will be enough for me to just capture those information. But if I am at a different practice, just like in Sacramento practice, and if they had the days where a day passed or a couple of days passed, because whenever I will go there, sometime I'll be curious on some particular subjects, and I will ask Dr. Sidhu or Dr. Singh that we had any such case in last few days, and can I see the blood reports and x-rays of those cases? And then, so it depends where I'm shadowing that day or which hospital I'm at.
And as you already mentioned, the human memory, sometimes it's short-lived. Do you keep a diary when you shadow?
I take always a small book, and I always keep making notes because, again, the information, even if I'm at a hospital, even for 4 hours, 5 hours, is so much that I will write some things for me to later either go through my courses which I have taken, because I always keep notes as well. Um, um, of all the courses which I have taken, so I can go back and see that does that connect to what I had studied in that course.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Dr.
Good
Singh.
morning.
Thank you for being here. I
you.
appreciate your willingness to continue to pursue practice.
Thank you.
Um, y- y- During your shadowing and your continuing education courses, can you give me an idea of what you've learned about um, communication in veterinary medicine? I know part of the issues that you have had in the past have been client communications, and what have you gleaned through these last couple of years as far as how to do better with communication?
And I'm sorry, when you meant communication, you meant the communication with the client as a veterinarian?
Well, and your communication skills on a record and your communication skills with your staff, there's a lot of nuances of communication in veterinary medicine. And I just wondered if you've been mentored in that during your shadowing or things that you've gleaned, along the way.
Yes, as we were talking, always the technical advancement in our medicine. So lately at Dr. Ranjan practice at the Intercity, so they have a new tool uh, that when they are talking to the client in the exam room, of course, they will ask the client's consent, that is it okay that whatever is being talked, so they will have a headset kind of, or actually, no, it is on the wall with the mic. So whatever is being said between client and a veterinarian is being recorded, and that also goes in the medical record, which was very interesting. I have never seen that before. Um, so communication, my understanding is very key part of our profession, because animals will be treated based on the pet owner's communication with the veterinarian. And part of these courses, they were talking in depth about you cannot assume, you have to be completely with the client with every single step, be it a diagnostic, treatment, what is the cost involved of every step. So at every step as you go along, you communicate. And as far as the communication with your staff, that will make your life easier if they know what they are expected to do, what they expect from me. So as a team, then only we can help client, pets. So communication among the team with the pet owner, I think it's very important.
Thank you. And I have just one more question. In your statement that you submitted, you talked about a journey of introspection and self-evaluation. And I wondered if you could, as comfortable, expand on that a little bit.
This is the toughest time I have been going through, and so yeah, you always look back and see things differently now.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, any additional questions from our board members? All right, anything further, Ms. Haro?
No.
Anything further, Ms. Lutz?
Nothing further for this witness.
All
Your
right.
Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, so you have 3 character witnesses.
Yes.
I'm going to just ask you to be mindful of the board's time and ensure that we don't have a lot of repetition, so you can
Yes.
just be specific.
I'm aware
Um,
of that.
All right, and if you would announce your first witness then.
Okay, my first witness would be Dr. Singh. I believe it's Karamjeet
And
Singh.
is Dr. Singh remote?
He's remote.
He's remote. All right. I think then we'll need to have our moderator bring up Dr. Singh.
Hold on, just
And Dr. Singh, this is Judge Larson. Do you have video capability? Dr. Singh?
this is the moderator. Dr. Singh is still on mute. Hold on just a moment.
There we go. All right, Dr. Singh. Hello, Dr. Singh. Actually, I can't hear Dr. Singh. I don't.
Hello, Dr. Singh. Could you possibly turn up your volume a little bit? I see that you're on a mobile device. That turned off your volume. You're back on mute.
Can you hear me now?
Hold on
Hello?
just a moment.
Dr. Singh, if you could just please state your name and see if I can hear you, please.
Karamjeet Singh.
Okay, that's better. All right, so Dr. Singh, the first thing I'm going to do, and this is Judge Larson, I'm presiding over the matter with the board, the veterinary board here this morning. First thing I need to do is swear you in. If you would please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, you may lower your hand. Please state and slowly spell your name for the record.
Karamjeet, K-A-R-A-M.
I'm sorry, moderator, I can't hear Dr. Singh. We're going to have to do something so I can hear better.
All right, give me just a moment. I'm going to pull up a suggestion on the screen that hopefully Dr. Singh can take advantage of. Bear with me, please. All right, Dr. Singh, up on the screen, I've got a visual. But is it possible to change your volume settings within WebEx?
Yes, sure. Can you hear me now?
It's a little bit better. Can you go higher?
Can you hear?
Well,
Hello?
let's try that. Let's try that. Why don't you go ahead and spell your name for me again?
Okay. Karamjeet, K-A-R-A-M-J-E-E-T. And last name is Singh, S-I-N-G-H.
All right, that is better. All right, Dr. Singh, just a few ground rules to make things go smooth this morning. Ms. Lutz represents Dr. Singh. She'll be questioning you first. This is a little more challenging because we're all in person and you're remote. So what we're going to need you to do is listen for the question and then just give a brief pause before you answer the question. That will ensure that Ms. Lutz is actually done asking the question. And if for any word you, for any reason you hear the word objection, that would be coming from Ms. Haro, represents the people. If you hear that word, please do not answer the question unless I instruct you to do so.
Okay.
After Ms. Lutz is done questioning you, Ms. Haro will have an opportunity to question you if she wishes. And then I will also ask the board members if they have any questions for you as well. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Lutz, your witness.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Yes, Dr. Singh, are you a veterinarian licensed in California?
Yes.
How long have you been licensed in California?
Yes, 2006.
Okay, and again, due to the fact that this is remote, I'm going to sort of shorten my questions. So I apologize. I know that we had talked about it being a longer question period, but I'm going to try to keep it a little more simple. Dr. Singh, did you write a letter on behalf of Dr. Singh that you signed that's dated July 25th, 2023, to whom it may concern? Did you write that letter?
Yes.
And did Dr. Singh, Amandeep Singh, tell you what to put in the letter?
No. Because we were in the college and I just put those things which we did it as a volunteer and then nothing else. I did it on that letter.
I couldn't understand
I'm
that.
sorry, I didn't. All I heard was that you were in college together. Were
Yes.
you in college? You were in college together, and then what was the next part?
And then I put in the letter what we were doing together over there during our college time. Can you hear me?
Okay, so you wrote the letter discussing what you did during your college time together?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And just generally, is everything in the letter true and correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Do you believe that Dr. Amandeep Singh is a capable veterinarian based on your knowledge of him?
Yes.
And what do you base that opinion on?
One thing is that like when we were in the college, we were helping the farmers and also we were doing the one blood donation camp over there. And he is the one who helped me to create a database for different peoples, for different blood groupings, and how many times they already gave the blood donations. And he's the one who gave me he put all the efforts to create that database manually, and so that we can work efficiently. And secondly, the farmers, like we were helping the farmers, and he was a resident or local resident, but I was not local resident. I was in the hostel at that time. And I know that he was going beyond to help the farmers. Those are coming in the clinic because the farmers are very poor and they don't have anything over there to live, and also they don't have much finance to buy the medicines. And we were helping together to create those kind of environment, like getting the money from the different religious organizations, and so that we can provide them the money for the medicines.
Okay, thank you. I don't really think I have anything else. Thank you very much, Dr. Singh.
All right, Ms. Haro, any questions for Dr. Singh?
Very briefly, Dr. Singh, have you ever been have you ever been disciplined by the Veterinary Medical Board?
No.
That's all I have.
All
Thank
right.
you.
I will ask our board members if they have any questions, starting to my left with our president. No questions? All right, any questions from any of our board members to my right?
I have one question. Dr. Singh, if you had a position available for a part-time or full-time veterinarian, would you consider Amandeep Singh as a viable candidate?
Yes, I will.
Thank you.
All right, any further questions for Dr. Singh?
I don't have anything further, Your Honor.
Anything further? All right, Dr. Singh, thank you so much for appearing. You are free to go.
Thank you so much.
All right, Ms. Lutz, if you would call your next witness.
Yes, I believe I have another remote witness, Dr. Gill.
Okay, all right, so our moderator will bring up Dr. Gill, hopefully.
Dr. Gill, you have the ability to unmute at will. Do you have video available to you?
I have unmuted myself, and it says we cannot display your video, but I'm on my computer, but I can also join through my mobile device. I think that might work because I don't see my video. I don't know how to turn that on, but let me try the mobile device. I had that as a backup. Okay, give me 1 second. VMB 419.
This meeting is being recorded.
All righty.
Right, we have Dr. Gill's mobile device online.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yes, the audio is good. Are you also able to connect video?
Yes, let me try that. Okay, let's see, start my video.
Perfect.
There we go. All right. Good morning, Dr. Gill. I am Judge Larson. I'm presiding with the Veterinary Medical Board. This morning, you've been called as a witness by Dr. Singh. And the first thing I'm going to do is swear you in. If you would please raise your right hand. I can't see you. Can you there we go. Okay.
Okay.
I can see you now. You were just you were out of the screen. Do you solemnly swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, you may lower your hand. Please state and spell your name.
Gobind, G-O-B-I-N-D-G-I-L-L. Go.
Nope, we lost you. We lost your audio. You cut out. So make sure you keep your face facing towards the camera and the microphone. Let's try that again. Oh, you're frozen. Nope,
Gobind.
you're freezing up, Dr. Gill.
Okay, hold on. Let me try one more thing. Is this better?
Okay, let's try it again. Go ahead.
Okay. Gobind Gill, Gobind Gill.
All right, Dr. Gill, as I explained, you've been called as a witness by Dr. Singh. His counsel, Ms. Lutz, will be questioning you. We're all in person, you are remote, and so there's a little bit of a delay. So what I'm going to ask you to do is please just wait until Ms. Lutz finishes her question. Just give a brief pause so that you can make sure she's actually done with her question before you answer. That also gives Ms. Haro, who represents the people in this case, an opportunity to object to a question if she wishes to do so. If you hear the word objection, do not answer the question. After Ms. Lutz is done questioning you, I will ask Ms. Haro if she has any questions for you. And then I will then ask our board members if they have any questions for you as well. All right, do you have any questions for me?
No.
All right, Ms. Lutz, you're a witness.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Dr. Gill, are you licensed in California as a veterinarian?
I am.
How long have you been licensed in California?
Oh, I almost forgot. I was when you were asking that question. 2006, 7, something, somewhere around there. I'm sorry if I forgot right here, but it's been a while.
Okay. Do you practice veterinary medicine in California currently?
I do.
And where do you currently practice veterinary medicine?
I actually own 2 different practices in Clovis and Kingsburg, California.
Have you ever been disciplined by the California Veterinary Medical Board?
No.
I'm looking at a letter that was written, that was signed on July 20th of 2023 by you. It's called a letter of recommendation, and at the top it says Armstrong Pet Hospital. Do you recall writing that letter?
I do.
Okay. And is everything in that letter true?
It is.
Did Dr. Singh tell you what to put in the letter?
No, he did not.
And how long have you known Dr. Singh?
Since 1995, 29 years.
Do you believe he's a capable veterinarian?
He's very capable. I've known him personally, a man of a lot of intelligence and empathy. We lived in the same dorm, and I think the running joke was if he knocks your door in the middle of the night, it's because he wants your blood for a blood donation patient. So, and I worked in Lathrop. I lived in Lathrop and I worked in Stockton. So, I would go to his practice and I was in the formative years. So, I would always, seek his counsel about stuff. So, I think he's very capable.
And are you aware of what he's gone through for the last 6 years now with his license revocation?
A lot of remorse and anguish, and this has been a tough time for him, and he practically disappeared from our community because we belong to the same community. So yes, this has been tough times for him, and I think he deserves a chance because I have seen his anguish and his remorse and what his family has been going through too.
If you had a position at a hospital that you owned, would you hire Dr. Singh?
In a heartbeat.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Haro, any questions for Dr. Gill?
Yes, Dr. Gill,
Mhm.
you told us that you believe Dr. Singh is a capable veterinarian,
Correct.
and you are aware of the reasons his license was revoked.
Yes.
Can you explain for us why you believe and feel he's a capable veterinarian, given the facts and events that led to the revocation of his license?
I know he messed up and he's aware of that also, but that doesn't take away that he's inherently an intelligent guy and he means well and he wants to serve the community and the patients. I feel a lot of his, poor decisions in terms of practice were also driven with his desire to just be helpful and, but it's not an excuse, but that does not mean he's not capable. I have known, even when his license was, when he appealed and he had messed up again, and even we had a conversation. I was like, he knows. He was like, I messed up, but I still think we all deserve a second chance, and I think he does. And I think capability and intelligence has got nothing to do with if somebody makes a mistake. So I still think there's nothing that he's not capable of practicing again, and I think he has learned from this.
Thank you. No further questions.
All right, I'm now going to ask our board members if they have any questions for you, Dr. Gill, starting to my left with our board president.
No, but thank you for coming and testifying, Dr. Gill.
Thank you.
And to my right, any questions from our board members to the right? No questions. No additional questions, Ms. Lutz?
No, I don't have anything, Your Honor.
All right, then thank you, Dr. Gill, for appearing at the hearing this morning. You are free to go. All
Thank you.
right, Ms. Lutz, your last witness.
Yes, I'd like to call Dr. Amit Ranjan.
Dr.
who is Here.
Dr. Ranjan's with us. All right. Maybe we could do one of two things. Dr. Singh, we can have you just go in sit in behind for now and then have the doctor come up. Yes? Okay, good. All right, doctor, before you sit down, I'm going to swear you in. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, please have a seat. And if you would please state and spell your name for the record.
My first name is Amit, A-M-I-T. My last name is Ranjan, R-A-N-J-A-N.
R-A-N-J-A-N.
Correct.
All right. It's doctor, correct?
Doctor, yes.
And it's Ranjan?
Yes, Ranjan. If you are French, you can call me Rajan, but it's Ranjan.
I'm
yes.
definitely not French, and Ranjan is hard enough for me.
We do get lots of French clients, so.
Okay, Dr. Ranjan then. You've been sitting in the hearing, and so you know the ground rules. Ms. Lutz will question you first. And then if Ms. Haro objects, just don't answer the question, please, until I rule. After Ms. Lutz is done, Ms. Haro may have some questions, and then the board members may have questions as well. All right, thank you. Ms. Lutz?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Okay, are you licensed in California, Dr. Ranjan?
Yes, I am.
When were you first licensed in California?
I think 2018.
Have you ever been disciplined by the Veterinary Medical Board in California?
No.
Are you licensed in any other state or country?
Yes, in British Columbia, Canada.
Um, Where are you currently practicing veterinary medicine?
In Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. I have emergency. It's a 24/7 animal emergency hospital. So I am a director of that.
Do you own that facility?
Yes.
Is your facility AHA certified?
Yes.
What does that mean to you?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What did you say?
AHA, American Animal Hospital Association.
Thank
Sorry,
you.
sorry, Your Honor. What does having an AHA certification mean to you? And again, for the record, AHA is American Animal Hospital Association.
I'm sure all the members here, they know about it's an American Hospital Association. So it's a basically an organization, and they claim that 18% of or less than that hospital are AHA certified, because AHA certification is you have to go through lots of set of protocols, and you have to inculcate in your practice, and only then you get your AHA certification, because they have lots of high standard of care that has to be maintained.
Does the AHA certificate, is that something that's renewed?
Yes. So it's renewed, and they come for evaluation every 2 years, actually. As compared to the medical board, they do every 5 years, but AHA does every 2 years.
Okay, so again, I don't know if you said the name of your facility, but can you say it again?
It's called Intercity Animal Emergency Clinic. So we are the second 24/7 hospital in Vancouver. There are 2 only, and we are one of them. It's level 2 animal hospital. Level 2 is like we're 24/7, and all the staff has to be there, and we take care of mostly emergencies. It's a dedicated emergency hospital.
Thank you. What is Practice Facility Accreditation Council?
Oh, okay. So like in California board, I was also a member of, so we have, it's called CVBC, College of Veterinarian of British Columbia. Like we have a California medical board. So I was also a part of the council in a practice facility standard accreditation committee. So we were a group of 8 people who used to do the monthly meetings regarding any facility decisions, their way of working. So I have served there 2.5 years in that council.
Do you believe that your time on this council gave you an understanding of the requirements for a veterinary facility?
Oh yeah, of course, a lot. It's because the type of cases you deal with, it does give you lots of understanding how every clinic works differently. Yes.
Okay, if I can have you look at page 102, and again, this is from Exhibit 7, page 102. Did you write that letter?
Yes, I did.
And if you just look at it briefly, is everything in that letter true and correct?
Yes.
Did Dr. Singh tell you what to write in the letter?
No.
So have you ever actually worked with Dr. Singh?
No. Like worked with him in terms of
At the same facility,
at Intercity?
at any facility?
Like he shadowed me at my clinic, but he did not have license, so he shadowed me. But he like working wise as a doctor, no.
And what do you mean by shadowed? What did Dr. Singh actually do when he was at your facility?
So our facility has a protocol that anybody who's not a doctor or RVT or who's not part of the clinic, they have to wear a badge, says volunteer. So basically, he had to wear a volunteer tag, means the volunteer does not deal with any kind of patient at all. So they can just shadow depending on the area. And because he's a doctor, of course, so he mostly he made like mostly shadowing with me, and basically shadowed with some RVTs as well, just to see how the ICU sheets are made. ICU sheet is intensive care unit sheets, how the treatments are made, how the vitals are taken. So mostly shadowed those RVTs as well.
Okay, and I think you clarified, but I just want to make it more definite. When Dr. Singh was shadowing you, was he performing any veterinary duties?
Not at all.
Okay. Was he performing any RVT duties?
Not at all.
Thank you. Have you ever had your license disciplined in Canada or California?
Not at all.
So are you aware of the events that led up to Dr. Singh losing his license in 2018?
Yes.
Do you believe that Dr. Singh is a capable veterinarian?
100%. I do. If
And-
you ask, yes.
Go ahead, sorry.
If you ask me the reason, we are all veterinarians, we know how much pressure we have in terms of client handling. There are two parts of, I do give some lectures to the veterinary students who do come to our hospital as a internship. Veterinary medicine is just not, we have two part. One, knowing the veterinary medicine, and second is communication. For me, communication is a very integral part of the veterinary medicine. So, yes, I lost my question. Sorry, what was the question?
Oh, we don't have a court reporter.
I can tell you.
Oh.
Well, Ms. Lutz asked you if you believed that Dr. Singh's a
Yes,
capable,
yes, sorry.
capable doctor.
I just
You
flew,
said
yes, yes.
100%, and then you said, I'll explain why. So
Yes,
if you could
yes.
provide
So
us that. Yes.
thank you for that. So he's an amazing veterinarian. He has lots of skills, surgical skills. So where he lacked was in the client, little bit of communication, but very importantly, the record keeping part, how the protocol works. So now he knows. So if you combine those two parts, he's a perfect veterinarian.
Did Dr. Singh get to practice record keeping when he was shadowing you at Inner City Animal Emergency Clinic?
Yes. So this just does not only apply for Dr. Singh. Any volunteer who comes to learn, we have it's a online module. We create a test patient, which has nothing to do with any patient, and they can practice anything. It does not get recorded. You can delete it, or it's not a part of any medical record. So yes, they can play around. They know it's a basically mock way of doing it. How the client comes in, how the history taking, everything is. So he did practice there. Yes.
So are you aware of the fact that he filed a petition similar to the one he's filed today in 2022?
Yes.
And are you aware of why that was denied?
Yes.
Does that change your opinion of Dr. Singh?
No.
Why is that?
As I mentioned earlier, that we do mistakes. Everybody does mistakes. But the important part is if you learn from those mistakes. And I think he has learned it. Definitely he has learned that. So coming back to my actual answer that yes, he's a capable veterinarian because he has learned from the mistakes what he did. So now he's perfect.
And if you had a position available and Dr. Singh wanted to move to British Columbia, would you hire him?
Anytime.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Ms. Haro, any questions for Dr. Ranja?
Yes. Doctor, have you ever practiced in California?
No.
So then would it be fair to say that you're not familiar with the laws and standard of care in California for a veterinarian?
To get a license, we had to go through here in Sacramento 3 or 4 days course, bilateral courses. So I did attend that, and that's why I got the license. But so I do know, yes.
Have you taken any continuing education in California?
No.
Okay. Now, you said you were familiar with the conduct that led to the revocation of Dr. Singh's license. Did you actually read the decision?
Sorry, no, I did not read I did not have time. I basically, it's about when phone talk. Yeah, no, I did not read the decision.
In phone talk, is that a conversation with Dr. Singh?
Yes.
So your information about what led to the loss of his license came from him and not the board's decision. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay. You said that petitioner, Dr. Singh, excuse me, has a lot of surgical skill. How do you know that?
Well, I have heard from the people, I have not seen him, but I have heard from the people and like his colleagues. So it's not personally, I have not seen that because I have not been in touch with him, like in terms of as a colleague. So it's all about from the people, from the different doctors that are in the group.
And different doctors that are in the group. What do you mean by that? Who does that involve?
Because I have many doctors here who are in a close circle who in California, they have a license in California. When he lost license, so it's a big talk in the community, but on the same time, he's a good person. So when you talk about the person, you does talk about the different good traits he has. So when I talk about somebody, they will talk, he's a good surgeon, he's a good medicine. The surgery part comes, everybody said the same thing. He's a good surgeon. So my brain picked up, he's a good surgeon.
Did you get any information about how those people knew he was a good surgeon?
No.
Okay. No further questions. Thank you for your time.
Right, I'm going to now ask if our board members have any questions for Dr. Ranja.
Hi, Dr. Ranjan. Thanks for coming all this way. And I also just wanted to thank you for your commitment to helping the veterinary profession. It sounds like you're providing things in Canada for students and such, and that's great. I just in regards to his medical records, did you see any changes while he was there, and how any examples of how you maybe helped instruct Dr. Singh?
Yes, first thing first, like he came from an era where electronic medical record is, I think he was not aware at all. And now it's everywhere, especially with AI in our field is like, it's a very important part. So because in electronic medical record, it does guide you next. So he was very impressed, like you have to write the exam notes because it does guide you. You have to write the communication part. You have to write your SOAP in a proper way. So he was impressed with the way the medical writing is done. And he has done his own CE courses as well, like ethical part. I was mostly focused, like he should learn his radiologist round because he had a case regarding the radiologist part, like the x-rays part, intensive care part, and the medical record part. So I was mostly focused on that parts.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Right, any questions, board members to my right? Yes.
Hi, Dr. Ranjan. I just wanted to have a little bit more information. The shadowing, how long was Dr. Singh with you?
So he used to, because we have multi-doctor practice, and because of his condition, it's like a privacy thing. He only wanted me to, if possible. So he used to make plans for 2-3 days. So
Entire duration of the shadowing.
So, see, the main focus emergency mostly comes during evening, 6 p.m. to 1 p.m. So the shift we used to make like, 2-3, he used to come 2 or 3 days, like a different time.
Over a period of 2 months, 1 month, 3 months?
He came couple of times, 2023, I remember October, for 3 days, I think. And so I plan accordingly between 6 and 10 or 11, because those are like a busy period. So he only stayed with me for the shadowing to learn basically all the cases.
So it's not like a continuous?
No, no,
Okay.
no.
And you did mention he was able to work with other practitioners?
No, only with me.
Only with
Yes.
you, okay. So during the shadowing part, you mentioned how important communication is.
Yes.
Is that part of like, can you give me more?
I used to
clear
take him to exam room as well,
Mhm.
after asking client if they're okay. He used to just watch what we used to talk in detail, because in emergency you have to it's a cost is a main factor in our veterinary medicine that we have to take part. So you have to explain from top to bottom about the condition, make sure they understand the prognosis, the costing. So he wanted to learn that how to, communicate in proper way.
And did you think he was able to?
Yes,
learn?
yes.
Okay. And that's all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Any additional questions? No? All right, Ms. Lutz, any questions, any further
I
questions?
have nothing further, Your Honor.
Ms. Haro?
No, nothing.
Okay, Dr. Raja, you are free to go. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Dr. Singh, you can come back up to the table. Ms. Lutz, if you would please, with regards to witness Dr. Singh, you referenced the letter that he wrote, but I didn't get, can you tell me what the page number of the letter?
Of course. Yeah, the letter that Dr. Ranjan wrote?
No, the first witness, Dr. Singh.
Oh, okay. Yes, I will.
It's Exhibit 7, and I want to make sure that I have the correct. Reference. Is it 105?
105,
Yes,
yes.
okay. I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't another one that
Yes.
you were referring to. All right. Any further evidence or witnesses, Ms. Lutz, for Dr. Singh?
No, I don't, Your Honor.
Right. Anything further, Ms. Haro, before we begin with closing remarks?
No,
All right, then. Any closing remarks for the board?
no.
Any closing remarks, Ms. Lutz?
Yes, I do. I would just like to say that we presented evidence that Dr. Singh has essentially devoted his life for the last 2 years to continuing education, learning how to do medical records, shadowing veterinarians so that he can keep his skill level high enough so that if he is given his license back, he can go back into practicing. And he's basically devoted his life to that for the last 2 years. He's essentially done nothing else other than continuing education and shadowing veterinarians. I believe that he has done everything he can do. And based on the witnesses' statements and his other letters of recommendation, clearly in the community, it's believed that he's a capable veterinarian. So we respectfully request that he be allowed to continue to go back to practicing veterinary medicine. And thank you for your time.
All right, thank you, Ms. Lutz. Is the matter submitted for the board's consideration? Matter submitted?
Yes.
Ms. Haro, matter submitted?
Yes.
Matter is submitted, and the record is closed. We are off the record. Thank you so much.
So I think we'll take a 10-minute break and return at 11:05. Okay. We are back. Go ahead, Judge Larson.
Our next matter is the petition for reinstatement of Teresa McCaffrey. And I believe Ms. McCaffrey is appearing remotely. So I'll ask our moderator to please Get us connected to Ms. McCaffrey.
We have Ms. McCaffrey online. Ms. McCaffrey, you are able to unmute at will.
Morning.
Good morning, Ms. McCaffrey. Do you have video capability?
I do. I thought I had enabled it. Let me try again. Can you see me?
Nope, not yet.
Okay. So I can see myself. I click the video portion and I can see myself. I don't know what to do next.
I have a visual on screen that might be able to help you. You have a start video button down at the bottom.
Oh, there we go. Okay. And then I hit video settings. Okay, I think I'm hitting the correct buttons. Let me try one more time.
There we go. We can see you
Okay.
now.
Okay.
All right. Good morning. I'm Marcy
morning.
Larson. I'm the administrative law judge who's presiding over the matter this morning with the board. Before we get started, I want to make sure that you have petition exhibits in front of you. Ms. Haro, who represents the people in this matter, will be going through those exhibits. So
Okay.
can you confirm that you have those in front of you?
Is that just my petition package?
It should be marked as exhibits 1 through 10.
I believe I have them.
It starts with a notice of hearing and then a certificate of your license history, and it goes on from there.
Okay, if it's in the petition package, then I can find it. So. Yes, I do.
Okay. During the hearing, Ms. Haro will be identifying those records, and I will ask you if you've reviewed them. So we need to make sure that you have them in front of you.
Okay.
All right.
They are, but they are not loading.
They're not loading. Okay, we're going to wait until they load. We can't get started until you have those available to you. So just please tell me when you have them available, and we will get started.
Okay. Okay, they are.
You
Okay,
have it.
they've loaded.
All right. And you've checked to make sure you can see them?
Yes.
Okay. All right then. All right. We are here on April 19th, 2024 on the record in the matter of the petition for reinstatement of Teresa McCaffrey. This matter is being heard before the Board of Veterinary Medicine, Department of Consumer Affairs, State of California. This is OAH case number 2024-030-281, case number 460201, 9000094. We've already had the board members identify themselves for the record, and there is a quorum present. As I mentioned before, my name is Marcy Larson. I'm an administrative law judge with the Office of Administrative Hearings presiding over the matter. This morning, we are here at the date, time, and location of the notice of hearing. And counsel for the people, if you would please state your appearance for the record.
Yes, Deputy Attorney General Summer Haro.
Right. And Ms. McCaffrey, you are representing yourself today. Is that correct?
Correct.
And you understand that you could have had an attorney represent you at your own expense?
Correct.
And you are proceeding on your own behalf, correct?
Correct.
All right. So I'm going to briefly explain how the hearing will proceed this morning. Ms. Cafferty, you are seeking reinstatement of your registered veterinarian technician license, correct? You filed a petition concerning that reinstatement?
Correct.
All right, so you have the burden of proving to the board that your license should be reinstated. So
Correct.
the board is primarily concerned with the rehabilitation that you have undertaken since your license was disciplined. The board has the benefit of the documents that you've submitted in support of your petition. But if you would like to focus on those rehabilitation efforts that you've undertaken, and you can highlight anything that's been included, that you included in your petition. The Deputy Attorney General, Ms. Haro, will proceed first. She will give the board members a brief overview of the history of discipline of your license. And then she will identify the documents that make up the exhibits in this matter. And those are the documents that you have in front of you. For those documents that she identifies, I will ask you if you've reviewed the exhibits and if you have any objections to any of the exhibits. So just if there's any reason that you have concern about one of the exhibits, just please tell me.
Okay.
After Ms. Haro is done presenting the information to the board, you will then have an opportunity to present your case. I will swear you in, and you can provide any testimony that you want the board members to consider for purposes of issuing their decision. Other than your own testimony, will you be calling any witnesses?
No, other than my letters of recommendation that I turned in, no.
All right then. All right, so after you provide your testimony, then Ms. Haro has the opportunity to question you. And then I will also ask our board members if they have any questions for you as well. Now,
Okay.
you can object to questions that are asked of you, but there must be a legal basis for you not to answer a question. But if you have an objection to a question, just please let me know. And I'll find out why you're objecting. And then if you need to answer the question, I will instruct you to do so. All right?
Okay.
All right. So during the proceeding, I cannot give any legal advice, but if you have any questions about the procedures, please let me know. And if I can answer the question, I will.
Okay.
All right. Any questions for me before we get started?
No.
All right. Ms. Haro, if you would please proceed.
Thank you. I am appearing on behalf of the Attorney General today pursuant to Government Code Section 11522, representing the people of the state of California. Today, I am here to assist in fact-finding. My role is not adversarial, but is intended to protect the public interest. I'm here to ensure that there is adequate information from which to make a decision. I would like to first mark for identification and offer into evidence the petition packet, which consists of 10 tabbed documents. The board members and petitioner have been provided with a copy of the same set of these documents. They consist generally of tab 1, Exhibit 1, the notice of today's hearing. Exhibit 2, the license certification history for petitioner. Exhibit 3, the board's decision and order effective April 19th, 2019. Exhibit 4, the petition for reinstatement of registration. Tab 5, petitioner's statement. Exhibit 6, petitioner's curriculum vitae. Exhibit 7, petitioner's performance review. Exhibit 8, letters of reference. Exhibit 9, petitioner's request for live scan service. And Exhibit 10, the compliance report for petitioner. At this time, I offer this packet into evidence as Exhibits 1 through 10.
Right. Any objections to exhibits 1 through 10, Ms. McCafferty?
No.
All right, exhibits 1 through 10 are admitted.
Thank you. I will now provide a brief summary of petitioner's license history with the board. On August 30th, 2017, the board issued registered veterinary technician registration number RVT 12323 to petitioner. Prior to that issuance, on November 16th, 2016, petitioner submitted an application for a registered veterinary technician initial examination. In that application, petitioner disclosed that in May 2005, she had been convicted of a DUI causing bodily injury. Effective April 13th, 2017, the board ordered that a probationary registration be issued to petitioner upon all completion of requirements for licensure. Upon completion of all requirements for licensure, petitioner is placed on 2 years probation with certain terms and conditions. On January 4th, 2019, the board filed petition to revoke probation number 460-2019 000094 against petitioner. The petition to revoke probation alleged 4 causes for revoking probation. Those were for failing to submit quarterly reports as required by the probation terms, failing to cooperate with probation surveillance by failing to pay probation monitoring costs, for failing to submit to drug testing. Petitioner failed to check in for drug testing on over 70 separate occasions and failed to provide a sample on 7 occasions when she was selected to do so. Also, the petition to revoke was based on petitioner's failure to abstain from alcohol. Petitioner had a positive alcohol test in May 2018. On March 21st, 2019, the board issued its decision adopting a stipulated surrender of petitioner's registration. That decision became effective on April 19th, 2019. Petitioner had admitted the truth of each and every allegation in the petition to revoke probation as part of the stipulated surrender. Petitioner is now petitioning for reinstatement of her registration. Because the burden is on petitioner, I have no further statements, but reserve the right to question petitioner. Thank you.
All right, Ms. McCaffrey, now is your opportunity to provide testimony to the board. The first thing I'm going to do is swear you in. If you would please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
You may lower your hand. Please state and spell your name.
Teresa McCaffrey, TERESAMCCAFFRAY.
All right, Ms. McCaffrey, now is your opportunity to provide any information that you want the board to consider with regards to your rehabilitation efforts since your license was disciplined and the reasons that you're seeking reinstatement of your license.
Okay. As far as rehabilitation, my DUI was in 2005, and I wish I had had this opportunity when I initially applied for my license. Because when I did apply for my license, the sheriff's department didn't even have a record of my DUI anymore. Since 2005, I've never been in trouble legally. I've never had a drug or alcohol problem. I have never caused any injury to an animal. I have never caused any injury to anyone else. The injury that was caused during the DUI ended up being whiplash, and that person was he became in legal trouble for trying to double dip, so to speak. My insurance paid him off, and then he came at me for more money. So that in itself may or may not have been a true bodily injury claim. With that set aside, since my revocation, as far as rehabilitation, like I said, I've never had a problem. I've continued on with the field. I've given 31 years to this field. This field has been my life. I have abstained from being in any kind of trouble. I would have pursued this sooner. However, I was moving out of state when all of this happened, and my license was not going to be able to be transferred to Washington or Idaho because I ended up grandfathering in. So I decided to just leave it alone. I believed I was going to be up there permanently. It did not work out because I did not like it there. I didn't like the medicine, and that's why I moved back here. Upon moving back here, I was considering applying again, and that's when I was diagnosed with cancer. My mother, unfortunately, did not make it from her cancer, so I didn't know if I was going to. So I didn't pursue it. For 2.5 years, I was dealing with my breast cancer. That's finally at hopefully an end of the last chapter of that right now. And so that's why I'm choosing to pursue it right now. So During my cancer treatment, I've followed up on as much continuing education as possible. Because now I'm a little bit physically limited. I would like to go into ultrasonography where my license would be helpful. I am now legally, or not legally, medically allowed to go back to emergency medicine where my license would be very, very helpful. And just for me to continue on with this profession, my license is helpful. To be the best technician I can be, my license is helpful. There's several new generations that I would love to help where my license would be helpful to teach them how to do things, which I love doing. I don't know what else I can say. So.
All right, Ms. McCaffrey, I'm going to ask Ms. Haro if she has questions for you. And then, as I mentioned, I'm also going to ask our board members if they have any questions. And then I will make sure that you also get the last word. So if there's anything that you remember that you want to add, you'll have an opportunity to do so.
Okay.
Ms. Haro.
Thank you. Ms. McCaffrey, when you were on probation with the board before, you did not check in for the alcohol test requirements on many occasions, and you did not submit to the required alcohol testing. Can you explain for us why you did not comply with probation before?
I honestly don't have any excuse. I mostly do overnights and I mostly have more than one job. So I am tired, but like I said, that is not an excuse. A lot of times the clinics, there's 2 clinics where I am at. So if I did check in and I knew I needed to go, the timing, they open. I noticed on one of the exhibits that several of the days were when I was working a day job. And that doctor was very resistant to me missing time. I started at 8 and I ended at 5. And the 2 clinics that were local, one of them that was very close, generally the wait time for testing is 1 to 2 hours. And so I would have had to have been late to work, which it was either do that or lose my job. So I chose. And then by the time, if I wanted to get off early, by the time I got there, they were not accepting any more people. So there's really no 24-hour facility around here. Again, that's not an excuse, but I know on several occasions that was a factor. At one point, he even stated, I'm getting pretty sick and tired of this. And it was a matter of me losing my job or testing. My mother was my only family member. I don't have anyone to fall back on financially. So I need my job.
On one of the occasions when you did test, it came back positive for alcohol. One of your probation terms was to abstain from consumption of alcohol. Why did you drink knowing that was one of your probation terms?
So I believe that was actually a blood test, and that was not recent alcohol, and it was definitely not on the job. I didn't realize it was complete abstinence. I thought it was obviously not drinking before work, obviously at work. And I do remember that specific incident. It was at a wedding on a weekend, and it came back because I really had to think about it because I don't drink that often. Now I just don't drink because of the cancer. But that was actually a blood test. And so I think it was within 2 or 3 weeks prior that it tested. It was a specific thing that it tested. But to my knowledge, nothing had ever tested positive on a urine sample because I didn't drink at all during the week when I was working.
When was the last time you had a drink of alcohol?
Over a year and a half ago.
If you were granted your petition and placed on probation with terms that are similar to the prior probation terms you had, would you be able to comply with those terms?
Yes. The one thing that I am asking is if that does happen, I know blood testing was a thing in the past, which I didn't realize it was. I now only have one arm that I can have anything done to. And I do have to have blood drawn quite often for my cancer monitoring, my CBC, all of that. So I don't know how that would work because I'm kind of running out of veins on my right arm.
Would you be willing to comply with a requirement for urine testing?
Oh, absolutely.
Now, given that you had several violations of probation the last time you were on probation, what assurances can you give the board today that if they were to place you on probation again, you would comply this time?
I'm older, not much older. I think having cancer just put many things into perspective, not knowing if I was going to be alive the next year. Um, just don't take anything for granted. So definitely not taking this for granted.
You mentioned that since your revocation, you've continued in the field. What do you mean
Yes.
by that?
Continued working, continued teaching as many new people as possible. I actually did not like ultrasound before, and I don't know where I developed the fondness for it, but I have that now. So I've been trying to learn as much as possible with that. It's a definite different way of thinking with imaging, so I have to readjust my brain. So any videos I have, I did shadow internal medicine doctor I used to work with. She held a couple seminars. I was supposed to go to the Advanced Imaging Academy in Vegas. My last previous job was going to send me. They're actually the ones that had the idea for me to do this. They were going to incorporate it into their initial exam as part of, just kind of like a pre-screening thing. And I got very excited about it. Unfortunately, their remodel went over budget, and so they couldn't afford to send me. That is one of the reasons that I am excited about getting my license back, because now I could, or hopefully, I can potentially do RU shifts, earn money so that I can send myself to the academy, because now I actually do have a big interest in ultrasonography.
You also mentioned that you've done more continuing education courses. What ones have you found most meaningful?
Ultrasonography. I enjoy pain management. I'm very blown away and excited with the fact that the majority of human medicines now, with the monoclonal antibodies, they're now coming over into veterinary medicine. So Librela, Silencia, all of the new drugs, I'm very excited about. I want to learn as much as possible about that. I want to go to conferences on anesthesiology, pain management, but it's difficult when I don't have my license. So those are my main interests right now.
Why do you want to have your registration back? What's the main driving reason for that?
So I can continue to teach younger generations. I can still do it, but I'm very limited. I want to myself continue to learn more. Like I said, I want to go to conferences. Certain things are closed to non-licensed technicians. And I feel like I've earned it. So, and I want to prove to the board that I deserve it again.
Do you have any convictions that the board is not aware of?
No, that DUI was my only one.
Are there any current criminal or civil litigations pending against you, either in California or anywhere else?
No.
Those are all the questions I have. The board may have some questions for you.
Thank you.
All right. I'm going to ask our board members, starting to my left with the president, if she has any questions.
I think it's still morning. Good morning, Ms. McCaffrey.
Morning.
Thanks for coming. Okay, so I have your letter in front of me, and I did have a couple questions about the letter. You had mentioned in it that you have found that you're very sensitive to opioids. Can you expand on what you mean by that?
Oh, yes. I've learned, so when I was younger, I did have a lot of headaches, and I do vaguely remember being on Vicodin a lot as a child. And then I've broken a few bones because I was a professional ballet dancer. But then I had a huge gap where I just didn't have any need for drugs. My mother was very sensitive to opiates. And in the past 2.5 years, I've had 3 surgeries. So I'm not waking up from surgery, all 3 of them. It was awful. There was vomiting on each occasion. Pain management was very difficult. They sent me home initially with Oxy, and within 24 hours, I needed to be switched over just to gabapentin and a nonsteroidal, which worked perfectly. And then when I had my hysterectomy, she chose Norco. Again, the same problem, vomiting. Switched me over to gabapentin and nonsteroidal was fine. So that's what I meant. I'd be an awful drug addict.
Got it. I was wondering why you included that. So,
Yeah.
okay.
No, I'm just trying to prove that I there's never been a problem with drugs.
I see. I see.
It would be a vomiting disaster.
Okay. In 2005, when you, or I guess November of 2004, you said that you were finishing an overnight shift and chose to consume alcohol to numb everything and get away from the devastating news.
Hmm.
How do you cope with strong emotions now?
Oh, that was a one-time event with the massive amount. Massive for me was 3 drinks, alcohol. Not currently, but prior to the surgeries, I was very involved with the weightlifting community. So I was a competitive power lifter. So that going to the gym was a huge stress relief. It still is. I'm not physically able to do what I used to do. I can't lift very heavy things, but I still enjoy going to the gym, lifting lighter things, just socializing with the people at the gym. We have a lot in common. Uh, Believe it or not, I love plants. So that's a big hobby of mine when I have time. Right now, it just boils down to when I have time. I work 6 to 7 days a week to pay off medical bills right now. So a lot of times I don't have time to do a lot of things that I enjoy doing. But also I'm older, and so a lot of things just don't bother me as much anymore. I was 25 years old then, and I'm 45 now. That was a huge, huge event. That was when I found out my mother was terminal. So
Okay. And then you said that you've never had a problem with alcohol. And in the stipulated settlement, when you were granted to your registration or your RVT license, there were to us, it seems very clear the items that were required for you to maintain that license. One of them was abstain from all alcoholic beverages, and yet you still chose to drink. And I'm struggling with why if you didn't have a problem with alcohol, why in that 2 years you would have been drinking.
that was, like I said, at a wedding.
Okay.
So my complete, and again, not an excuse, my misunderstanding was I really thought it was obviously during the work week for me. I didn't realize that it was at, say, a social event. I didn't believe that was something that could impact my work. And I thought that was the reason for the probation, anything that could potentially impact your work. And so I'm taking full responsibility for that.
Okay. So you may, and I'm sorry if I'm looking down, it's just you're actually on a screen in front of me.
Okay. Oh, no.
So I'm actually able to see you better, like looking like this than looking up. So I apologize if it seems like I'm just like looking away from you. I wanted to kind of clarify for you why this is important to us. And when it comes to substance abuse disorder or any allegate or any conviction related to substances is that in our profession, unlike other professions.
Well, I just want to remind us,
Oh.
we're limited to questions.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Thank you. I felt like people don't understand. Okay. I guess that would be my last question. So thank you.
Okay.
Right, and to my right?
Hi, Ms. McCaffrey. I just wanted to ask, after the revocation of your license, can you describe to us like exactly what is the scope of work that you have been doing and how the reinstatement of your license would make a difference?
So what I've been doing, when I first, okay, so let's rewind. As soon as it was revoked, I did move up to Idaho, Washington. I initially started at an emergency hospital, and up there they have different like laws to basically do anything oral. You have to have a certificate. So I really wasn't allowed to do anything other than TPRs. And then when I moved to Idaho, I interviewed several places. And I realized that the standard of care and the quality of medicine was vastly different, which is why I moved back down here. I did day practice for a little bit. And then I went back to emergency medicine. How my license would help me. As I said, I love teaching. A lot of things I can't teach, say, like I just ran into this the other night. I was trying to teach someone how to splint and bandage a broken leg. I physically couldn't help them. And so it was more of a verbal teaching, which did not end up very well, even with the doctor present. And I just really wanted to physically show them how to do things, and I couldn't. As far as induction and intubation, I would love to show them how to do it, how to intubate. It would help me as far as drawing up controlled drugs properly at one of my facilities. That is a problem right now. And so I know one of my doctors is eager for me to get my license. There have been a few accidents there. They're very limited on who can pull up drugs. I'm very, I pay attention to detail, which I think you should when you're handling controlled drugs. 0.3 is not 3. Little things like that, where with the amount of experience I have plus a license, I feel like it could help the quality of medicine at the practices I'm at right now. Many of the people who have permits and licenses are very young and don't necessarily, I don't want to say know what they're doing, but they don't have the experience. And so I feel like if I had my license plus my experience, I would be able to help them. And then also I could go to more continuing education myself. So
Just a
I
follow-up.
don't know if that answers your question.
Yes, it did. Just a follow-up question. Are you currently working under an RVT?
Yes, and doctors.
Okay, thank you.
Any additional questions? I actually have a clarifying question just because I'm unclear. You're talking about the practices you work for. Where do you currently work?
I'm currently at Corona Animal Emergency Hospital
Just one hospital?
and West Covina, or Emergency Pet Clinic of San Gabriel Valley. They just opened. So I'm no longer at Pet Wellness Center.
Okay, so where are you right now?
Emergency Pet Clinic of San Gabriel Valley and Corona Animal Emergency Hospital. That's a recent thing that my oncologist gave me clearance to go back to overnights. And so I did that after I submitted my petition.
And so are these hospitals affiliated or they're two different hospitals?
Two completely different hospitals.
Okay, what is your title? What is your job title?
Veterinary assistant. Overnight veterinary assistant.
And so what are your duties as an or how about, let's just start broadly. What are your duties as a veterinarian assistant?
Triaging, patient care, everything but induction, drawing up controlled drugs, everything that I'm legally allowed to do. So IV catheters, radiography, phlebotomy, injections that aren't controlled, patient monitoring, client relations, client interactions, calculations, surgical monitoring, surgical setup. So everything but induction and bandaging broken bones, drawing up controlled drugs.
All right, I'm going to check to see if there's any questions based on my questions, starting to my left with our president.
Sorry about the last time. I just had one more question. The earlier when you were on probation, you said that you weren't able to comply with the monitoring because you weren't able to miss work.
Correct.
What's different now since you work 7 days a week?
I'm doing overnights. So the testing centers are open right when I get off work. So
Any additional questions? Any additional questions, Ms. Haro?
No.
Anything else that you would like to add, Ms. McCaffrey?
no,
All right, Ms. Haro, any closing remarks?
No.
Any closing remarks, Ms. McCaffrey, for the board?
no.
All right, then, is the matter submitted for the board's consideration? Ms. McCaffrey, matter submitted?
Yes, please.
Matter submitted, Ms. Haro?
Yes.
And Ms. McCaffrey, so you understand the board will be going into closed session to deliberate. You will receive a written decision sometime in the future. All
Okay.
right?
Okay.
All right, thank you. The matter is submitted and the record is closed. We are off the record. And Ms. McCaffrey, you are free to go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So, yes. Yes, did the other, okay. The other petitioner, has not, okay, great.
All right, we are on the record in the matter of the petition for reinstatement by Haroon Mahand. It is April 19th, 2024. The matter is being heard before the Board of Veterinary Medicine, Department of Consumer Affairs, State of California. This is OAH case number 20240302777. OAH, I'm sorry, case number 46020230011725. My name is Marcy Larson. I'm an administrative law judge with the Office of Administrative Hearing presiding over the matter this morning. We are here at the date, time, and location of the notice of hearing, and there is a quorum of the board present. Counsel for the people, if you would please state your appearance for the record.
Deputy Attorney General Summer Haro.
Right, Ms. Haro. So the matter was set to begin at 9 a.m. Mr. Mohan has not appeared, and he is neither in person nor has he checked in online. I have confirmed. Have you had any communication indicating that he's intended to appear this morning?
No, I have not.
All right. So I did review the notice of hearing and the information in his license history with regards to his address. He was properly served with the notice of hearing concerning the information on how to appear either in person or remotely for today's hearing. I find that there is no good cause for his failure to appear at the hearing. And as a result, the board will be taking a default and issue a default decision and order denying the petition as a result of his failure to appear. Anything further?
No, thank you.
All right, then the matter is closed. We are off the record. And I'm going to return this back to you.
Okay.
Actually, if a default's going to be taken, I might have the board keep it just for the notice issues. We'll just do
Whatever
that.
the board
Okay,
prefers.
we'll just do that just to be safe.
Thank you. Okay, so we're going to be recessing open session and convening closed session. I don't know about staffing, if we need to take a break for, right, I know, but we have one person that takes notes, right? So do we need to give them a half an hour break before? Okay. Okay, great. So we'll convene closed session then.